What is going on, fellow traders? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Wolf Den Trader Takeaways. What a beautiful day it is today. We had an awesome day. Actually, no, we did not. But we hope you guys had a great day, fantastic day, trading your plans, waiting for proper setups, risk adverse. It's Wednesday, August 21st. We got that cool summer breeze coming in through this Florida window in my office, overlooking the beach. I wish. But with that being said, Rebecca, let's roll to executions. Now, thank you so much for your time, guys. Today, I wanted to go over two trades we had. Let's take a look at the 3-year chart on LEDS. Now, this thing was in play today, for sure. Look at these wicks. We like this. Here's a 3-year chart. And first thing I want to notice, if you guys watch these videos, we're looking at today's intraday volume right here. So today we traded 17.1 million shares. But more importantly than that is the relativity, 55 times the 10-day average. Also, to that volume is 306 times the 90-day relative average. So we're in play today. We got eyes on this thing today. Look at the volume consolidation. Let's go ahead and take a quick zoom in before we go over to the 5-minute and 50-minute chart and then executions. But look right here. Here's my levels. Now these levels are marked off. We've traded this name before, so we had pre-marked levels. We just this morning we're just making sure we're tight right here on 360 is an LVN for us, as well as 493. So we're taking a look at this consolidation channel, as well as 429, 464, and then these levels down here. So we kind of topped out, and then here are our levels right here. All day we were using these levels: 323, 301, and 269. Let's go ahead and here's a look at the front side volume that was put in today right here off of this consolidation. Now with that being said, let's go over to the intraday charts. Here's a 15-minute charts. We got a nice pop. Here's the pivots. When the pivots are respected, we will use those as reference. The point of control in this chart's 303. And look at the 5-minute 2-day chart. Point of control is 373. Now look at these levels here. So let's just go ahead and pull up executions. Oh, so this is a semiconductor, 3.5 million shares outstanding. We closed today with a 10 million float, and we had some news out on it. I didn't really study the news too much. This thing, small pre-market volume. This thing traded very relatively small. It kind of started to get legs during the day, so I didn't have too much time to look into it. Now, we traded this one on the simulation, but still, we show every trade. Now we're starting to size in here against our levels. We're putting small size in. Here's execution, so you can watch me build this position up. Let's set these by time. Here's executions for the day. We had 35 tickets today, 75.1% passive liquidity. So we're just building in. We're leaning in way too early. Let's go ahead and zoom in on this. We're leaning in way too early on this one. We noticed that there's 3 tiers: tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 levels, consolidations, and we leaned in on all 3 of them. Now, basically, we were watching the tape on this one in the algo. We were watching the algo on it, and it just gave us the confirmation that this thing was going to snap. I didn't think it was going to go this high, but like I said, my levels are right here. And we had high expectancy of resistance at 381. I wish I would have waited a little bit to lean in on this one, but I didn't. And I did go over my max share size allowance for front side by 32%, and which is this ad right here. And just leaning in too early. Now here's a support right here at 360. And we're just wicking. Now there's ample opportunities here for me to take profit here on these wicks at VWAP, and then also here. Look at this channel. Now this was a beautiful channel right here. A lot of larger traders, medium-sized traders. This is a beautiful thing right here, right? We can sell 380 and we can buy 360s. This is a 20-cent scalp. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 opportunities right here to make 20 cents. There's $1, right? There's an easy $1 right here for the pickings in this consolidation. I didn't grab it. I was just building a position, watching the tape, and just getting more and more conviction that this algo is going to snap, which it did right after running stops. We added into this final push. Some of my friends got stopped out here. We identified this algo early on. I shouted out in the room that I thought that this algo was going to take a majority of the shares off at 340 to 320. That was before we got this final push, and it did take the majority of the shares off right through VWAP. Now look, you know that there's a decent amount of bid liquidity at VWAP. We didn't even get any resistance, barely. This thing just went right through. Look at the downtick volume going through that. It's another continuation clue. And then congratulations to the shorts who did capture this one up top on this tier 3 consolidation. I'm sure a majority of the shorts that were involved in this took some profit down here. But again, in relation to the amount of shares that we believe this algo carried up, now this is all opinion based. Please do not use this for future reference or signs, symbols to buy or sell stock. But this is just opinion. We're still learning as we go. But we knew, or we had a strong opinion or conviction that this algo still had more shares to get rid of. And that's what gave me the confirmation or the conviction or the confidence, whatever you want to call it, to continue to add. Now I had my average was in the 340s, right? I scaled, like I said, I went a little bit too large in my size. I was 32% larger than I wanted to be with these final ads, which is not following my rules. Yeah, a lot of learning on this chart. This is terrible trading, but we're going to show it. We're going to learn from it. If one of you guys can learn a little bit from this, leave some comments, man. Help me to get better. We're all here to help each other, right? We're aligned through the same vision. But we had strong conviction that this algo was going to snap again. Now we're reading the tape. Now some guys in the room were asking about reading the tape and how do you get better at it? And just watch the tape. Hours and hours and hours of tape reading. We identified this algo, and what really gave me the conviction on this algo was right around here in the 320s. I saw a medium-sized player step up, and he was trying to catch fills right here. He was catching fills here, and I believe, he was catching fills here like 320, 317, and he was soaking the offer, and he refreshed it a few times, which was a little bit odd because I didn't notice that in these pushes, right? We got a first push, second push, and then here there's maybe some outside of the house tape reading going on that I identified, or potentially identified some soaking. And then I believe that's what caused this push right here. So I think a medium-sized player got in short at 320 and they squeezed them out. That's just my opinion. But when I saw that gave me more conviction to add the remainder of my size and then a little bit more, bringing my average up to 340s. Now, if you want to see the chart with my averages, and I post that on my Twitter account, links in the bottom of the page, as well to our YouTube channel. So here we are. We're just adding. Now, the ads down here are relatively right here in the 340s down here are relatively smaller than my ads up top. I got to respect my average. I'm not trying to bring my average down too far. Right? Backside trading is just a balance, and it's a flow of the continuation downtrend in relation to size and average. That's backside core trading to us. We're continuing to work on that. Then we get a nice flush here, and I'm taking some profit right on top of $3, $3.06. So using my higher time frame chart right here, I'm going to get my lines, right? 323. Now our lines on the downside are 301 and 269. 301 and 269. So I'm going to take profit right on top of my line. Here's my line, 301. That's why I want to put a majority of my targets. It's the first time I'm taking profit on the day. So we get a nice move from over $4. I'm letting this thing run its course. I'm letting this thing flush and then flush again over $1 before I start to take anything off, right? Because if we've been watching this algo, we think we know, what it's up to. We got eyes on you, bud. It gave us a ride on the way up, but we're better for watching it, and we watched it for about 4 or 5 hours today, pretty intently. So then we're just continuing to fade, and look at the volume here. Now, not too many shares being washed from this algo. Look at the volume. This thing kind of just takes a break. Maybe it's wants to entice new longs to come in, right? It's trying to back off a little bit and potentially allowing new longs to come in, right? Because the longs that are bagged up here in tier 3, and look, we have a new addition to tier 2 consolidation right here. These guys are still bagged, so it's going to be tough to get up there. This algo is just kind of hanging out waiting, and then we get some more volume coming in, and I put together a 318 to a 350 scale. Now you can tell I left my orders out because I wanted to show you guys my scaling strategies, so we can all learn and get better. Maybe you guys can help me even get better. It's all about, we just want to get better, right? That's Wolf Trading is about education. We're aligned from the same vision. And then here we are. We're leaning in. We caught it nice. We caught this one nice right here, and then we're just letting it unwind. Again, our levels are 301 and 269. So here's our 269 level right here, and that's where I'm taking another majority of my targets. This right here, now this 292 fill, I had a 291 out. This is maybe if this was a third of the size or a quarter, adding it back, taking maybe a 6 off. This in relation to this was tiny. This was just a feeler in case we pushed higher. I'm still holding a lot of shares. I want to trim it off a little bit, but I'm just going to randomly take covers, right? I have to be patient and let this algo run its course. Let this chart print, right? We're not going to spend all day trying to get an idea of what this chart's going to do to just hurry up and leave money on the table. And I can't stress that enough. That's where the emotions come in. Now I had a little bit of an emotional battle on the front. Now, if I'm gonna let this loser go against me and add, the last thing that I can do is cut the winner short. You can't do that, right? You just can't do that. So I gotta let this thing run its course. I gotta hit my targets. Now, if I don't hit my targets and this thing turns around, I can trail my stop down and I can still cut in the money, and it's still a win. It's a risk-free trade. So I'm gonna let this thing hit my targets, and it did. And it finally hit my targets. I had a remainder of the targets out right here. So here's all my fills. I have a couple shares left for 227 and 203 just for that home run, but that was relatively small, maybe like 1/10 of the size, even less, for those two targets. And I'm still holding them right now. So this was a learning experience for sure. Nice covers, emotional frontside entry. We let it run its course though. And then RKDA was a little runner. RKDA tripped us up a little bit. We're in a short core position. Let's go ahead and pull up the 5-minute chart on this one. So you guys know this thing's been running. It's been in a downside fade. Today they amended the S1, right? So they put an S1A out, introducing potential new shares. It still needs to be effective, I believe, and the 424 needs to come out. I didn't spend too much time on it. I just know that there's more filings to come, but the algo kind of turned on. Now, here's my levels, right? The levels are based off of the higher time frame levels. So here's the 3-year chart. Let's go ahead and zoom in. Let's look at the last year. Right, so look at this massive volume right here between 690 and 741. There's a good amount of a volume right here. That's resistance. So then let's look at today. Here's today. So today we're coming up on this 690 line, right? That interests me. I'm just showing you guys how I get my levels. So we're coming up on 690, and I want to catch underneath it. So 674 is where I put a starter, which I got a partial fill. And now here's a great opportunity for me to take a 30, 40 cent scalp right here. 5, 10, 15, 20 cents, 25, potentially 30 cent scalp. And then I can just cut this if I want. But that's not what I'm trying to do. RKDA for me is a position play. So I'm trying to put some shares on, and then I had some more, right? The majority, right? 690 to 741. So this is a higher time frame resistance. This thing came up and it sat on top of this volume. So now you guys have watched RKDA push this algo. We had a nice the Energizer Bunny algo. This thing can print 22, 17,000 1-minute candles in the after hours. We're not seeing that. Let's take a look. Here's a 1 minute. Let's look at the one minute. How much volume is this thing printing? So the most volume it printed is 6,000 shares. Now, when this thing was running, week 1, week 2, we're looking at 4 to 8 times more volume than this. Just in relatively, I want to see what this algo's doing. Right? We've been watching this algo. I probably have 15, 20 hours of tape studies in real-time simulation with this algo. Right? We're in bed with this algo. So I'm going to hold this. I want the larger move. I have orders out at 724. Hold on one second. My orders were out at 724 and 738, right? I want to stay inside this zone right here. Sorry about that. My orders are not up anymore. But I want to catch fills. This is a starter partial, starter fill. I want to catch size in between my resistance. I mean, that's really what it is. Let's one more time. I know I'm going back and forth on this, but this is very important. This is a big part of how we catch levels right here. And these levels are respected. Here's a majority. Here's like the point of control on the 3-year chart. This is just one big fat point of control right here. The point of control on this name is 690 to 741. This is the decision point, right? When price gets in this level, it's entering into fair market value. This is where the stock, in theory, should be the most comfortable. And then we expect a continuation from this level. So the stock is going to trade at this level, and it's either going to go higher or lower. And we have the best chance of a continuation off this level, in theory. And then the rest is for another day. So we're expecting to put some size in, 690 to 741, baby. And we're going to get that fade tomorrow. If not, we'll catch it the next day. This algo can't shake us. We've been trading this since August 8th. And we've been pulling realized profit out of this algo every single day, except for today because we didn't have any covers. But we can trade alongside this whale of an algo. And it's being dialed down a little bit. This thing is only at 1/3 potential from what we've seen since August 8th. All right, guys, with that being said, let's hop over to the Wolf Trading Discord room. Let's go in the runner's room, a.k.a. the weapons room. Let's see what's potentially going to be on watch for tomorrow. So we got Zag. Look at this thing. Just pop right before the bell. We're going to be doing some fundamental analysis on this. Look at the volume coming in and then pew. So we're going to be looking at that. WKHS Workhorse. This thing's just kind of been a little choppy. Look at this volume right here. Potentially manipulation right here. We like manipulation though, right? Because manipulation attracts the players that we will like to take advantage of, right? That's how manipulation works, in theory. PSTV, this is a dead cat bounce. You guys remember this 400K OS stock just going to the moon a couple days ago, and now we're just getting a little bit of a bounce. Maybe they're shaking out the core shorts potentially. RKDA, we just went over this one as well. So we're catching a starter right here, and we're looking to add size in over here, as we just said like 5 times. LEDS was a nice one today. We went too heavy on the front. We rode this algo all the way up, and if a medium or larger short seller came in unaware of this algo for some reason, if smart money came in or large money came in and this algo squeezed them out, that could have been very dangerous for us. We are aware of that. DWP Digital Power, a nice fade. This thing was in play a few days ago, and here's day 2 and day 3 fade. Low volume, low volume, like 1.3 million or something like that. MYO, we're going to be watching this. Look, catching this nice decision point right here. Nice rejection. Low volume grind, though. So there's not too much integrity on this chart because maybe 12 million. Okay, so there was some volume on this. We're looking for continuation right here. We might get a retest of this level right here, but we do expect strength. But we're going to be watching for this uptick bag volume right here. So we got it on watch. We're going to see what's going to go on with that. Had a nice move today. NSPR, look at this. Oh, this one popped nice and strong into higher time frame resistance. This was a beautiful play. We have some topping action right here into the HTF resistance. And then just in case you didn't get a chance on the first time, look, coming up perfectly just to give everybody and their grandma enough time to get the communion money and throw it at their broker to locate. And there you go. And this thing went all the way down. This thing actually went green to red. Massive move right here. And RBZ at 244 rejection off the higher time frame LVN right here. We were watching this thing. Some guys caught this nicely. Just a nice trade right there. Possibility. There was some manipulation on the way up, though. We did watch it a little bit. So it could have been potential for a nice trade if you were watching when the sellers jumped in. And that's it, guys. That's that's it for today. So we're going to have these on watch. If I have some time tonight, I usually go over the fundamental filings. I like to check for potential overhead supply, and I like to see how much cash these companies have on hand in relation to their cash runway. Those are just a couple of things I like to do. All right, guys, we're at 20 minutes. We really appreciate your time. If you're more interested, or if you're interested at all in bouncing around theses with our guys, we got some very, very talented guys in the room. Shout out to those guys who are just getting better every single day. Give us a look at Wolf Trading Discord. We'll be around. Take care, guys, and have a great day. Be safe.